When I talk to most of my JRPG mates, they talk about their glory days with the PlayStation, PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3. But unfortunately, I'm not like them. My first serious time with the PlayStation brand was the PS3, and my first ever game for it was Uncharted: Drake's Fortune. Oh, and get this, I didn't even want the game in the first place. My first foray with the Uncharted series was actually compensation from a mate who had lost a copy of a game I loaned him. So yo, Lewis, if you're seeing this, thanks for introducing me to this series. Anywho, when I got the game, it was my one and only title for the PlayStation 3. This meant that I actually had time to focus solely on it, which was rare for me at the time, and even more so now. Coming back to it so many years later on the PlayStation 4 has been a blissful experience, as I'm sure it has been for most who've played the original. Uncharted is one of those titles which plays almost as good as it looks. The game centers around the main character Nathan Drake, an archaeological treasure hunter, swindler, and all-around lucky guy. The modern folks Indiana Jones, a series I'm ashamed to say I have never watched, but pretend I have for the street credit, of course.
I am here off the coast of Panama, where we just recovered what we believe to be the coffin of legendary explorer Sir Francis Drake, who was buried at sea over 400 years ago. Are you sure you want to be defiling your ancestors' remains like that?
You make it sound so dirty. Besides, thought you didn't believe me.
You're first introduced to Nathan diving in the ocean for some sort of treasure. Before long, it goes from treasure hunting to a third-person shooting affair on a boat. From there, you jump again to Nathan and his partner Sully on an island searching for a particular 15th century treasure. If you're still paying attention, then you should have noticed the impressive adrenaline-thumping pace of this title. There's literally no downtime. It's action cutscene after cutscene, but instead of watching, you're an active participant in every bombastic set piece.
It's so valuable, they couldn't risk it getting out.
All right, Nate, just pretend for a minute that I don't really care about any of that stuff and cut to the chase, would you?
Uncharted itself is a tightly knit together linear experience, but it feels much more than that. Developers Naughty Dog created such a believable world and set of characters that the whole thing seems a lot larger than it actually is. Similar to the likes of the Gears of War series, Uncharted has a strong focus of using cover during combat. Unlike that game, however, it does have more verticality and some neatly implemented melee combat options. During its 8 or so hour campaign, you'll be placed in an array of settings with opportunities to tackle them in a variety of ways. Bundled in with that, you'll also find the aforementioned impressive set pieces which require quick button inputs, QTEs, and reflexes. You'll probably fail in your first run most of the time, but they're not too complex to figure out after getting the gist of the situation.
Damn it! Okay, nice work.
Thanks.
Hey, book up it too!
Hang on.
After them! Don't let them go! Go! You know where you're going, no?
If anything, the biggest challenge you'll come across from this title is its somewhat floaty feeling controls during platforming segments. Controlling Drake during combat feels a bit clumsy, but that's part of his charm. Like a person who plays the fool to drop your guard while always being in full control of the situation. Drake stumbles and crawls while shouting his iconic but always sticks the landing, and I love it. This remaster has also received numerous quality of life improvements which affect the way it plays. From 60 frames per second gameplay to a new explorer mode which makes the game extremely easy. This of course is an attempt by the devs to make the game much more accessible, and it was successful. For those looking for more of a challenge, there's always brutal and speedrun modes, so don't think this is just easy street. Gameplay aside, Uncharted is mostly focused on its story and characters, with the gameplay serving as the vehicle to present them. A frame for a lens, a wheel for a car. The gameplay is important, but it's not the focus. During gameplay, Nathan and his companions constantly talk to each other, and the developers take every opportunity to get the players up close and personal with the characters. Sometimes that's in the form of a cutscene, while other times it's much more literal. It also helps that Drake and Co are very likable, ridiculously well motion captured characters. Nolan North as Nathan Drake, Emily Rose as Elena Fisher, Richard McGonigal as Victor Sullivan blew me away back in the day, and they still do today. All deliver award-winning performances, and so do the supporting cast. Big praise goes to the directors and animation team at Naughty Dog as well for what they were able to achieve way back in 2007 when this game initially released on the PlayStation 3. What's more is that this game did receive some visual improvements, but the original still looks impressive today. In fact, it doesn't look like a lot of changes were required to remaster this for the PlayStation 4. That of course is not true, but at face value, it overachieved for its time, and as such has aged well enough to rival games today. There's even a photo mode added to the remaster to show off those stellar enhanced 2017 visuals.
They even have parachutes?
Now would be a good time to look.
I hope these things still work.
We'll find out in a second.
Have you ever done this before?
Of course. You just jump, count to 5, and pull the cord. Now go.
Are you coming?
Kind of busy right now. Get going.
See you on the ground?
Right behind you.
Yeah.
So, with all I've had to say so far about this game, here's my final verdict. Uncharted Drake's Fortune will always be special to me, as it was my first game for the PlayStation 3 and my main entry into the PlayStation ecosystem. It's a game that has aged well thanks in part to great forward-thinking development practices and strong focus on quality. It may not have exploded onto the scene originally thanks in part to poor initial adoption of the PlayStation 3, but it slowly got there. This is a game that launched a great franchise and redefined what is expected from action-adventure titles. If you're looking for a great time, there are very few experiences which can match Uncharted Drake's Fortune today. Reviews like this one are created thanks in part to the support of spectacular viewers like yourself. To make sure you don't miss out on anything we do, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. If you wish to support us even further, you can subscribe to our other channels, the podcast That Beautiful Life, use our Amazon affiliate links, or donate to our Patreon. Links to all are in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.